fight. Trying to see where the life take me, so I roll the dice. Look up to no one else, but yeah, I was shy. I got real power, Hebrew Israelite.
Right? You said what? 96. 96. Right? Got shot 90 plus times by the police. And there's many more accounts of so-called black and Hispanics getting gunned down by their enemies. No justice. I believe the cops that just got let off or fired. You know, some people say they got charges put on them, but you know them charges gonna drop after the tape come out and these different things.
Right.
Nevertheless, it's always so-called blacks and Hispanics that have that feeling as if it's a higher entity that's putting them in this oppression. So read on.
In so much that he abhorred his own inheritance.
Right, and the Lord, he called us in his inheritance. Let me get that in Deuteronomy 32 and verse number 8. So the Lord, even from the foundation, he called us his inheritance. All right, look at Levi. Levi literally means joined unto the Most High. That's the Lord's inheritance. Hey, brother, 1 minute.
1 minute,
One verse. Right, let's read this, Deuteronomy 32 and 8. So you blacks and Hispanics, even though you're at the bottom of society, guess what? You're the Lord's inheritance. But he had to curse his inheritance because his inheritance is hard-headed, right, stiff-necked, a rebellious, wicked nation. Right, let's read this.
It's the book of Deuteronomy 32 and 8.
Right.
When the Most High divided to the nations their inheritance,
right,
when he separated the sons of Adam,
you know,
he set the bounds of the people according to the number of the children of Israel.
Read.
For the Lord's portion is his people.
So the Lord said his portion is his people. Read that last part.
For the Lord's portion is his people.
Right.
Jacob is the lot of his inheritance.
1 minute for the Lord, brother. So the Lord said Jacob is the lot of his inheritance. So go back to that in Psalm. So off bat, you so-called black and Hispanics, the Lord called you Jacob.
Right.
The Lord called you Israel, and you're the lot of his inheritance. But again, he cursed his inheritance. Read on, it's going to tell you what. Read on.
The wrath of the Lord was kindled against his people,
right,
in so much that he abhorred his own inheritance.
Read on.
And he gave them into the hand of the heathen.
Right, and the Lord said he gave them into the hand of the heathen. Give me Judges chapter 4 and verse number 3. That's why, again, we're in the bottom of society. We're in the hands of the heathen.
Right.
You got Jake in 2024 calling themselves heathens, as if you're not Israel, as if you're not the one that's supposed to be ruling this society. And since I came into the truth, you know, I've been hearing that a lot lately. You got black and Hispanics, namely Judah, they call each other heathens. Are you acting like you heathen? Oh man, you don't just be heathen doing A, B, and C. Right, Jake, you literally calling yourself a heathen, but the Lord, he gave you to the hand of the heathen. Right. And that's, you know, and that goes back to the so-called Hellenists. Right, you got the neo-Hellenists now in 2024. And America, not Jake, want to call itself after the name of these different nations. Right. Nevertheless, that's how you know we are God's chosen people.
Right.
Because you even abased yourself to call yourself a heathen, as if the Lord didn't call you a prince. That's power with the Most High. So read this in Judges.
This is the book of Judges, chapter 4 and 14.
Bring it out.
Start at verse 3.
Verse 3.
Right.
And the children of Israel cried unto the Lord.
Right.
For he had 900 chariots of iron.
Go on.
And 20 years he mightily oppressed the children of Israel.
He did what?
He mightily oppressed the children of Israel.
He's getting mightily oppressed.
He mightily oppressed the children of Israel.
So the Lord says it's a nation that's getting mightily oppressed. And you know, we don't got the signs up here, but we look into the history. Only one nation has been mightily oppressed.
Right.
Yeah, every nation, you know, Esau, he did his thing with every nation. Everyone hates the horde. But no one has been mightily oppressed like the so-called black and Hispanic men. And that's the message that we got to get out to our people. And that's the message that's been pushed from the foundation of the earth.
Right.
Since Israel first went up. From Moses, from Moses all the way from 1400 BC all the way up until 2024, it's been the same message. Right? Because Israel has been mightily oppressed from ancient times until now.
Right.
Right, give me Ecclesiastes 1 and 9, the classic. Right, the Lord said there's nothing new under the sun. Right, let's bring that out real quick. Ecclesiastes chapter 1, verse 9. Right. Hey, you got a worldly proverb that say history repeats itself. And the Lord said that through the hand of Solomon, years and years on back. So let's read this.
It's the book of Ecclesiastes 1:9.
Right.
The thing that have been is that which shall be,
Right.
and that which is done is that which shall be done.
You know?
And there is no new thing under the
What
sun.
the Lord say?
And there is no new thing under the sun.
So the Lord said there's no new thing under the sun. So if you see one nation that's getting mightily oppressed in 2024, best believe it was that same nation during the time of Judges getting mightily oppressed.
Right.
Hey sister, 1 minute for the Lord, says one verse for Christ.
I'm good. Thank
For
you.
Christ?
I got Christ right here.
All right, well let's talk about Christ. Read this in Psalms 106. Hey brother, 1 minute for the Lord. You got time for one verse, King? Time for one verse. The verse of the day. The verse of the day, brother.
Come on, brother.
Read this.
And he gave them into the hand of the heathen.
Right?
And they that hated them ruled over them.
Right?
Their enemies also oppressed them.
It said our enemies also oppressed us. And again, Jake, nowadays, Jake think his enemy is his own people, which on one fold it is. But nevertheless, your enemies are these other nations. So your enemies oppress them, read on.
Their enemies also oppressed them.
Right?
And they were brought into subjection under their hand.
Read on.
Many times did he deliver them.
The Lord said many times did he deliver us. I mean, you got something called the 7 major captivities. And when even outside the 7 major captivities, you read Judges, it was still different captivities that we were under. So read on. So he said back to back through the Spirit. Read on.
But they provoked him with their counsel.
Right?
And were brought low for their iniquity.
Right?
Nevertheless, he regarded their affliction.
And that's how merciful the Most High is. Through all the times that we've went off, we've spit in his face, we've committed a spiritual adultery against the Most High. Give me Jeremiah 3:1. Right? Yeah, please. Come on, give me Jeremiah 3:1. Right? All the times we went against the Lord, we again spit in his face, we transgressed, wanted to serve other gods, he still brought us back. And that's a very, very merciful God. Hey, some parents, after they whoop their child, they don't feel bad. Because they know their child went off and they got what they deserve. Right. And the Most High, he's seen us go off, he whooped us, and then he felt bad for the things that we went through and still brought us up. Right. That's a very, very loving entity right there. And Jake still got the nerve to say, oh, well, how come your guy, he killed off the whole planet and left 8 people? Hey, brother, 1 minute for the Lord. Right. You got to repent and man up, brother.
Right.
Right. That's all. Nevertheless, you got men saying, oh, well, your guy, Thanos. Try to compare the Most High to Thanos. And try to compare Thanos' wickedness to the Most High's righteousness. But yet, all the wickedness man keeps up and brings forth in the earth, the Lord, through his grace, he still brings us back to him. Right. So let's read this in Jeremiah. 3.
Jeremiah chapter 3 and verse 1.
Right.
No. They say, if a man put away his wife,
right,
and she go from him and become another man's, shall he return unto her again?
Right, that's according to the law. How you doing, sister? You got time for the verse of the day? Verse of the day. One verse.
Verse of the day.
All right, let's get Deuteronomy 76. Right, you know about
But
that.
I do read verse of the day every day. I set up my app.
Hey, well, now you got the second verse of the day.
I love it. I love my kings knowing the verses.
All praises. Now, you ever heard about the Israelites?
I have.
What you know about the Israelites?
The black Israelites, that we were the original people, that we are God chosen. Yes, I know.
So
my father used to, God rest his soul, when I was very young, because he died when I was young, but he used to always tell me that. And that's the one thing I remember. I was 7. See, I'm much older than you. I'm a grandmother and a mother. But when I was really young and my father was living, God rest his soul, I remember him always putting seeds in me.
Hey, well,
and that I remember about you. That's why I know
now it's time for
how
that seed
important
to grow.
you kings are.
You know what I'm saying? Now it's time for that seed to grow.
Oh, I know.
So do you consider yourself an Israelite? Or that's something that you just hear?
I don't consider myself religious, but I am spiritual.
Well, we don't consider ourselves religious as what this world deems religious. As religion.
Exactly.
So
exactly.
we're going to show you something real quick. Let's read.
As long as it's quick, because they got us on the timer. I have to do this 7 days a week and support my queen in college trying to get her law degree.
I got you. All praises.
It's Deuteronomy 7:6.
Right.
Yo.
For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God.
Right.
The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself,
Read on.
above all people.
What are the Israelites?
Above all people.
So-called black people.
Above all
So
people.
the Lord said Israelites, so-called black people, are above all people. That's why we do everything the best.
Which is, say it again,
That's
bro.
why we do everything the best.
Let me shake your hand on that.
You know,
I try to plant that seed in my now grandson, my one and only,
It's more than that.
3rd generation.
Let's read this. It's more than that.
Above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
So in order to, like I said, you plant that seed.
I have to.
In order for that seed
Because the
to grow,
world trying to tell him that he's not worthy.
All right, that's right. Real quick. Now, in order for that seed to grow, you have to water him with the words of the Lord to let him know that he will be an Israelite.
Right.
That starts with you knowing that you will be an Israelite,
Right.
walking this earth. Now let's get Deuteronomy chapter 10 and verse 12. As Israelites, the Lord, he commanded us to do certain things. Now, like you said, your father, he taught you that you was an Israelite. But did he ever prove it?
I'm sorry?
Did he ever prove it, like any proof to solidify that you were
the
Israelite?
last thing I remember, I was 6 and in kindergarten. He used to say that to me, but I don't remember. Yeah.
Well, guess what? That's good. Because since he planted that seed, Most High wanted the Lord to get that increase. How you doing, sis? We all right. So we're talking about how the so-called black and Hispanic man, woman, and child are the Israelites. You ever heard about the Israelites? So the Israelites will be God's chosen people.
Oh, yes.
You have to go to church.
Can I take a picture of that? Okay, but I don't have that.
That's good. You understand?
All of Deuteronomy. I don't even say it that way.
We got a fly for you too. So how you doing, bro? All right, so we're gonna read this quick verse.
Because I do read. Reading your highlights. Thank you, King.
We got a flyer for you, sis. You're an Israelite.
For me?
Yes, ma'am. All right, so we're gonna read this quick verse for you, sis. Now again, so-called black and Hispanics came out on time will be the Israelites, according to the Bible. Let's read this real quick. Right? Let's read this real quick.
The book of Deuteronomy 28 and 15.
Look it out.
It reads, but it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God,
Right?
to observe to do all his commandments
Go on.
and his statutes which I command thee this day,
Right?
that all these curses
Go on.
shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
So according to the Bible, that's one group of people that's going through generational curses. They've been through slavery. They've been through all manner of hell. Getting their backs down. They've getting sprayed down by police with fire truck poles, getting dogs sent on them. And on top of that, they're getting gunned down by the police daily in 2024. What nation does that sound? The white man?
That's
Is the white man getting killed in the streets? Unjustly?
Stop like 3 times.
Yeah, us.
Just speak.
Yeah, that's right. So according to the Bible, God is talking to the Israelites.
Right.
The Israelites in 2024 will actually be so-called black. That's what we're doing in there. Let's go to verse 16.
Verse 16.
Right?
Yo, curse shall thou be in the city,
Right.
and curse shall thou be in the field.
So the Lord said the Israelites, they've been cursed in every major city and in the slave fields. Now, that sign came right on time. Through the Spirit. Now, we look at on that sign. So what nation of people was cursed in the slave field? He said us. Now again, as the Lord, did he call these people black people in the Bible as we describe it? What did he call them? He called them the Israelites.
Right.
Israelites. So let's go to verse 68. Let's go to verse 54. Now, is your father Israelite? Okay, I'll praise the Most High. Now, what nation of people is known for not having their fathers in their lives? Us. Let's read this. Did you know that the Bible had already prophesied all these different things that fell upon the Israelites before they even happened?
Right.
So let's read.
book of Deuteronomy 28 and 54.
Right.
Get out.
So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate,
Right.
his eye shall be evil toward his brother.
So you got something called your eye being evil towards your brother. Now, me and this brother, we will be brothers. Everyone up here will be brothers. So-called black and Hispanics, we all will be brothers. But the Lord, He put a curse, an evil spirit on these people, and said their eyes going to be evil one toward another. Now you got black on black crime, gang banging, right? You got different sects, you got drive-bys going on at a very high level. Again, that will be happening to who? To the Israelites, which are who in 2024? Us, right? So that's right. But again, for some reason, this has been in the Bible, which is in the churches. Back then, you know, before I was probably born, they was reading Bibles in the schools. But yet, nobody read like this of the Bible to us. Now, we didn't read it. Now, we didn't add that in there. Right? This is not Thomas Mann's version Bible. He put his own part in it. Now, this thing was actually from the foundation. But yet, we see it happening to this very day. Let's read verse 68. Let's solidify.
Verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
So the last curse was that the Israelites were going to Egypt. Egypt is another word for slavery. Now, I know you said you've been to church before, right? They ever talked to you about Moses? What's Moses' favorite saying? Or his famous saying? Let my...
I can't.
Listen, he said, let my so go.
It's like,
He said, let my people go.
oh,
That sound familiar? Right? He said, let my people go. Let's get that in Exodus. I believe that's 5:1. All right, let's get Exodus 5:1. So if you're screaming to the Egypt, or to another nation, right? For example, we're in captivity under the so-called white man. If I go up to Donald Trump or Joe Biden, and I say, let my people go, then my people must be in what? Slavery.
Right.
Some type of affliction or bondage or captivity. Same thing with Moses and our ancestors of the Israelites. We were in slavery under the Egyptians. That's why I remember the Lord killed off all the firstborn of the Egyptians and the 10 plagues, because the Egyptians had them in slavery. And that's what Moses had to say to Pharaoh. That's really
It's the book of Exodus, chapter 5 and 1.
right.
Yeah.
And afterward, Moses and Aaron went in
Right.
and told Pharaoh, thus saith the Lord God of Israel,
He said, my God told me to tell you this. You going?
let my people
Do
go.
what?
Let my people go.
That again?
Let my people go.
Read.
That they may hold a feast unto me in the wilderness.
So Moses, he commanded, or the Lord commanded Moses to tell Pharaoh, let my people go. Because we read that the Israelites were in slavery under the Egyptians. How do you think all those pyramids got over there? The Israelites have to build them. It was getting the brick, the labor. Same thing with America. Who do you think built up the White House? We did. All these skyscrapers, you got so-called Mexicans building these because they're in slavery under the white man.
Right.
All these buildings and all these nice-looking things that was built by the slaves. And who was the slaves? That's us in this society. So let's go back to 28 and 60. So Egypt, now we know that Egypt, it represents slavery. It's not a physical Egypt, but this is more of a spiritual Egypt that the Lord is going to bring us to. So let's start that from the top.
The book of Deuteronomy 28 and 68.
Bring it out.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
So what does Egypt mean spiritually? According to the Bible, spiritually, Egypt means what? It means slavery, captivity. The same way how they were in slavery back then, it's the same way how we're in slavery now.
Right.
So Egypt will represent slavery or captivity, just like on your dollar bill. On the back of it, they got a pyramid from Egypt. Because even the so-called white men is letting you know that you're still in spiritual Egypt. Why would they put a pyramid from ancient times on the modern day dollar bill?
Right.
It's to remind you that right in plain sight. And it's all to remind you, just like how you and your ancestors was in slavery in Egypt, it was slavery in America. So even the so-called white men, he will let you know that. So let's go on.
Right.
So Egypt represents slavery, right?
By the whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again.
Right?
And there you shall be sold unto your enemies,
Right?
for buying men and buying women. And no man shall buy you.
Right, meaning no man is going to redeem you out of your slavery that you've been brought to. Now, we've been brought into slavery by way of slave ships. Again, that's what the Bible just said. So all these things link up to, as you said, the Israelites, which would be us today. So does that make sense that you would be an Israelite according to the Bible? That's right. So, and again, we look on the sign, you got something called the 12 tribes. Now, why did we go into slavery to start with? Let's get Deuteronomy 76 for the sister. 14 and 2. Let's get 14 and 2. So we're the Israelites, we're God's chosen, we're his favorite people. Why are we at the bottom of society?
They trying to recreate them.
So what?
They trying to recreate them.
Recreate them? Well, you know, yeah, that's some part. That's a part of the scheme of the plan. But we end up, that too. That too. But if we're super powerful, how do we let another nation that's inferior to us, a nation that doesn't have any melanin, overtake us? It's because the Israelites, they left God's laws. We left God's laws.
Right.
Let's read this.
The book.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 14, and verse number 2.
Right.
For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God.
Right, because we're holy. Holy means separate, set apart. You know?
And the Lord hath chosen thee to be a peculiar people unto himself,
Right?
above all the nations that are upon the earth.
So the Lord said the Israelites are really above all nations. What a sign that. We look on this sign. Right? Israel is at the top. The Lord said that Israelites, the so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native American man, is above all nations, meaning we're his favorite. We do everything the best.
Right.
Cook, entertainment, sports, everything you can think of, somehow Black and Hispanic just excel in everything. Because we're the Israelites.
Right.
We got it in our DNA. Right? That's natural. Lord, he made us and programmed us just to be the best. Look the best, smell. You got certain nations, they don't even put on deodorant.
Hey,
These other nations, they stink, they eat rats, cats, dogs. And then you look at us, just a plain man, we just regular. We're the salt of the earth. The Lord said that would be the attributes of the Israelites. What? Let's go to slide 28 and verse number 1. 28 and 1. But again, it's because we broke God's laws that we're in the bottom of society.
Right.
Now let's get Leviticus chapter 11. We're going to teach you some laws so we can show you how to get back up as a nation of people. Right, let's read 28 and 1.
Book of Deuteronomy 28 and 1.
Right.
Yo.
And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God,
Right,
and to observe and to do all his commandments,
right.
which I command thee this day, the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth.
So we're about to bring out some commandments. And the Lord said that if you hearken and listen to these commandments, it's going to start to make the so-called black man a god back on the earth.
Right.
Right, you read about King David. Oh, you heard about King David, right? Little bit. Well, you got a man called King David. You got Samson. You got all these Israelites in the Bible. These men were considered gods upon the earth. Now look at us. We just niggas. Right? It's a white woman. She calling you a nigger girl. Just look at her. You think she's better than you? Look at her. No melanin.
Right.
Skin all pink. Sun burning you up. But somehow she's above you in the society. The Lord said once we come back as a people, He's going to start to raise us back up. It's our personal state. But that all starts with keeping the commandments.
Right.
Can you name 5 commandments?
I'm starting to tap back into my
That's good.
because I'm still young, so it's like I've been working a lot, and I see that stuff happen because of the relationship that I do not have. So I've been trying to build it up. That's why I don't know much, but I know some. So I'm getting there. So that's why I stopped here, because it's like I felt
Praise to the Most High. Let's get Ecclesiastes 12:1. And chiefly, you really want to start at a young age. You know, a lot of people, they always think get old, then they
I'm 17, and it's like I want to start. I want to start now, so because life about to start hitting me, I can feel it, and I want to start now.
That's what you call maturity kicking in.
Right.
A lot of people though, they somewhere on the block looking for
Sexy red.
yeah.
See, I wish not that.
That's good. That's a beautiful thing. Give it up for the sister.
Good.
That ain't something that you hear a lot on the radio. Come on. How you doing, brother? So what we teaching is that the Israelites, everyone on this side will be God's chosen people.
Right.
The Lord gave these people laws, statutes, and commandments to keep. The reason why, now would y'all agree black people are at the bottom of society? Now the reason why we're at the bottom is because the Israelites, right, our people, we left God's laws. So we about to read a few laws and commandments that was given to our ancestors. Keep them so we can rise back up as a people. Let's read Leviticus chapter 11. And we're going to see if these laws are hard or easy. A lot of people say it's impossible to keep God's laws. So what? How long is what? Something about the commandments?
No, I'm saying I know what he been reading. He don't break. That's why. That's how I think.
It ain't gonna be long. We'll be on 3 verses, right? So y'all be God's chosen people. Let's read this.
This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 11 and verse 7.
Right.
And the swan, though he divide the hoop and be cloven-footed,
Right?
yea, chew it not the cud,
Go on.
he is unclean to you.
So swan is what you call pig or the pork. That was all praise to the Most High. Right?
Yeah, last week he was
Hey!
he was walking past.
You get kind of excited. Now, the Lord, he gave these commandments to so-called black people. One of the commandments are to not eat the swan, to not
I
eat the
don't eat
pork.
I don't eat pork.
That's good.
I stopped eating pork 5 years ago.
That's good. You on fire. Y'all eat pork? You say yeah. So read that again from the top.
And the swine, though he divide the hoop and be cloven-footed, yea, he chew it not the cud, he is unclean to you.
So again, the Lord said, you know, it's a sin to eat the pork. So y'all wanted to put down pork for the Lord? I know you said Joe here, right? No pepperoni. No ham. What about you? Are you willing to put down the pork for the Lord? You just saying that?
I don't know.
Are you sincerely actually going to put down pig for the Lord said, because, let me get 2 Kings 1:40. All right. The Lord said because we ate these different things, we went into slavery.
Right.
Let me just look at the sign. They fed you pork and slavery.
Right.
They gave you the worst part too. They gave you the chitlins.
I don't eat chitlins.
They gave you the bacon. You eat ham? You eat ham? You eat bacon? That comes from, that God knows where that comes from. What part of it? They come from the blood.
Right.
Feet, the stomach,
Snout.
yeah, the snout, the ears, damn tail, you eat pig tail, thinking it's something good. But nevertheless, they fed you that in slavery. They gave that to the slaves, to the poor.
Right.
If you want to treat yourself like a princess according to the Bible, you have to conduct yourself like so and eat, thus saith the Lord. And he said, don't eat the pork. So we don't. So with knowing that, are you willing to put down pork for the Lord? But it don't stop with the pork. All right, read on.
These shall ye eat of all that are in the water.
Right?
Whatsoever had fins and scales in the waters, in the seas and in the rivers, them shall ye eat.
So whatever comes out the waters, you gotta have both fins and scales if you want to eat it. So what's some things that have both fins and scales that come out the waters? Do I got fins and scales? Just they got fins, right? But no scales. I remember I went fishing one time. I caught a catfish. I cut it open, and there was nothing but bottle tops and other animals and all type of madness inside the catfish. You put that inside your body.
Right.
So because it doesn't have both fins and scales, you don't want to eat it. But you got tilapia, you got perch, or you got red snapper. You got a lot of good fish, salmon. But if it don't got fins and scales, you can't eat it. You gotta have both. Which, knowing that, what's some animals that don't got fins and scales? The main ones.
Chicken.
Well, that come out the water.
Yeah.
Yeah, that come out the water.
Because I've been having a weird thing with chicken lately.
That come out the water. Yeah, alligators. Got that. That's big down south. Hey, y'all gotta put that in.
That's all.
Right. Y'all know what alligators eat? They eat anything. They eat people. Did you know that in slavery they had something called alligator bait? And guess who was the bait? Your little sister, your baby infant, your daughter, your son. You had the infants. And
No, you can't start talking about stuff like that.
And I was going into this the other day. They had the infants. Right? They would tie the rope around the stomach real tight, so the baby could scream and cry. They would place the baby by the water, and the scream of the baby would attract the alligator. The alligator would come up and eat your baby. Right. And then they would catch the alligator, kill it, and then eat it. So now they eating the alligator and the baby that's inside the alligator.
Ugh.
So knowing that, are you gonna put down alligator for the Lord? You eat alligator, brother? Oh, of course you. Are you just saying that, sis? All right. Well, how about you? So you want to put down alligator for the Lord?
I mean, I only tried it one time when I had tried it. Right? Alligator's not something that I eat often. Yeah, like that's not an everything.
Well, even though you want to stay away from it.
Right.
Again, you got good fish. Right, you got salmon, the perch, the bass. You got righteous things you can eat, but anything that don't got fins and scales, like shrimp. You got a point?
I thought you
Yeah. Shrimp, crab, catfish. Y'all want to stay away from those. Y'all eat shrimp?
Yeah.
Yeah, I eat.
Crab?
Yeah.
Lobster?
Yeah.
The Lord said if it come out the waters, don't got fins and scales, you gotta throw it out the window.
Right.
For the Lord.
This is the book of 2 Kings, chapter 4 and 40.
Right.
You know? So they poured out for the men to eat. And it came to pass, as they were eating of the pottage,
Right.
that they cried out and said, O thou man of God.
Right now it said, "Oh thou man of God." So this book, if you really want to follow it and really become a king and a princess, it starts with you becoming a man of God or a woman of God. So these men that was eating this pottage, right? Mind, these are men of the Lord. Israelites, not niggas, not black people, but Israelites. They're eating this food and thinking it's good, like you said, the alligators. They're thinking it's good, right? But then they notice something. Right, read that again, the last part.
O thou man of God.
Right, so they caught it and said, "Hold on, oh thou man of God, you know?
There is death in the pot.
There's what?
There is death in the pot.
Eating pork?
There is death in the pot.
Alligator?
There is death in the pot.
So the Lord said, after they found out, they called it death in the pot.
Right.
So you eating shrimp, crab, and lobster, and pork, that's likened unto you eating death in the pot. And again, that's royalty. You know, you're really abasing yourself when you eating something that's made for slaves.
Right.
That's made for these other nations to eat. That's like you eating a rat. Right? Acting like a Chinese one, you eating a rat. You got the cat right next to it. You got the dog for dessert. And bat stew to top it off. Yes, all the same. So you want to leave off all of that. Alright, that makes sense. See, I wanted to put down that stuff for the Lord. All praise to the Most High. So according to the Bible, what would be our race? According to the Bible, what the Lord calls you, what would be our race? Israelites.
Right.
That's right. Let's get John 1, verse 47. And again, this world, you know, through slavery, rape, rob, murder, oppression, you know, they've called you black men.
Right.
I'm pretty sure y'all seen that movie with the slave movie. They named Cooper Kente back. They said, "What's your name?" He said, "Cooper Kente." He said, "No, it's Toby." And they kept doing it until they beat his name on it. That's what happened to us.
Right.
We called ourselves Israel. We called ourselves Judah, Benjamin, Levi, Ephraim, Manasseh, and so forth, the 12 tribes. But they beat us until now you calling yourself an African American, a nigga, a bad meat, and these different things.
Don't look at me.
Hey, you know, you just know you don't want to be calling yourself what this world calls you.
Right.
Again, you want to call yourself what the Lord calls you. Let's read this. John 1:47.
Book of John, chapter 1 and verse 47.
Bring it out.
Jesus saw Nathanael coming to him,
Right.
and said of him, "Behold, an Israelite indeed.
What the Lord say?
Behold, an Israelite indeed.
What's your nationality?
Behold, an Israelite
You
indeed,
know?
in whom is no God."
So the Lord said that we will be Israelites indeed. Not, you know, Israelite partially, or it's a 50-50 chance. He said, indeed, the 12 tribes, us, we will be God's chosen people, the Israelites.
Right.
All right. Now I know you gotta go back to the work, so we got a flyer for you. So y'all look into it, all right? So before y'all leave, what's y'all nationality? Judah, from the tribe of Judah, but your race is Israelite.
Brother.
Hey,
brother.
Y'all gonna beat it in him.
All right, yeah, you too.
Yeah.
Spirit. Right? Again, we coming back and we waking up the tribe for the last days. Right? All praise to the Most High. Let's get Sirach 36 and verse number 11. Right? Let's get Sirach 36 and verse 11. So the 12 tribes is waking up in the last days.
Right.
Right? And there's nothing no one can do to stop it. Let's get Hosea 1 and 10. Class. 1 minute for the Lord, sister. All right, let's read.
It's the book of Sirach, chapter 36 and verse 11.
Right.
Gather all the tribes of Jacob together and inherit thou them as from the beginning.
So the Lord said, gather all the tribes of Jacob together and inherit them just like it was in the beginning. Go to Genesis 49 and believe I want verse 25. So the same way how it was in the beginning, where all of us was one people, all of us we strived as one, right? We came together, we fought against the enemies as one. The Lord said in the last days, he's gonna do the same thing. And we read Sirach 36, that's both a prayer for the downfall of the enemies and the rising of Israel.
Right.
So that's a beautiful prayer to go into. And one of the prayers that's already prayed in that prayer is that the 12 tribes come back, just like how it was in the beginning. Read this.
It's the book of Genesis, chapter 49 and verse 25.
Bring it out.
Even by the God of thy father, who shall help thee?
Jump to verse 28.
Verse 28.
Right?
All these are the 12 tribes of Israel.
What the Lord say?
All these are the 12 tribes of
Who's
Israel.
coming back together?
All these are the 12 tribes of Israel.
So the Lord said, just like how it was in the days of old in Genesis, and the Lord said how all these are the 12 tribes of Israel, how they were in one spot, that's going to be like that in due season. We're going to have all the tribes in Jerusalem keeping the feast. Hey, brother, 1 minute for the Lord. Right? So just like how it was back in the days of old, when Solomon was reigning, when King David was reigning, and everyone came to Jerusalem to keep the feast days, turn up as one, all one accord, it's going to be just like that in due season.
Right.
Right? Read on.
And this is it, that their fathers spake unto them,
Right?
and blessed them. Every one according to his blessing, he blessed them.
I said,
The book of Hosea, chapter 1 and 10.
right?
Yet the number of the children of Israel shall be as the sand of the sea, which cannot be measured nor numbered. And it shall come to pass that in a place where it was said unto them, ye are not my people.
So in the same place, in your slavery, in your captivity, in America, in Brazil, in Mexico, right? In Europe, in the UK, in Russia, China, Japan, or whatever captivity or whatever place you're at, that where it was said that you're not your people, right? That you're not God's chosen, you're just a slave, right? You're just a Jamaican, you're just a nigger. Right. The Lord said what?
And read, and it shall come to pass that in the place where it said unto them, ye are not my people,
Right?
then it should be said unto them, ye are the sons of the living God.
You are what?
Ye are the sons of the living God.
Future prophecy.
Ye are the sons of the living God.
The Lord said in the same place it will be said that we are the sons of the Most High.
Right.
Right? And again, there's nothing no one can do to stop this. No man, no woman, no beast, no spirit. You read that in Romans chapter 8 and start at verse 28. Right? There's nothing that's going to be able to stop what the Lord got going on. At least happily you be found even to fight against the Most High. Bring out this in Revelation.
It's the book of Revelation, chapter 11 and verse number 10.
Bring it out.
And they that dwell upon the earth shall rejoice over them,
Right?
and make merry, and shall send gifts one to another.
No?
Because these two prophets tormented them that dwelt on the earth.
Right, and that two prophecies, it was many-fold. Nevertheless, the two prophets are the servants of the Lord in the last days.
Right.
Who's tormenting the earth, how? By doing his work. Read Acts. And see how the disciples was literally tormenting the Roman Empire. just tearing it down and cutting it down slowly and surely with the words of the Most High. The same way how it's going to be now and how it is now. How America is slowly collapsing while you got the servants of the Lord, the Israelites, raising back up in the last days.
Right.
All throughout the four corners of the earth. You doing?
And after 3 days and a half, the spirit of life from God entered into them.
Right?
And they stood upon their feet.
Read on.
A great fear fell upon them which saw them.
Right?
And they,
Let's sit on that. And great fear fell upon them that saw them. Who did the great fear fall upon? All these other nations. Right? The so-called white men and Chinese men. Read Psalms 83 and read about our enemies and see how great fear fell upon all these nations, man. So read this and what you got. 1 minute for the Lord, brother.
One Bible verse, brothers. Book of Romans 1:28.
Right?
And even as they did not like to retain God in their knowledge, God gave them over.
Romans chapter 8 and verse 2.
It's Romans 8:28.
Right?
And we know that all things work together for good to them that love God.
Right?
To them, verse 31. What shall we say then? Say to these things, if God be for us, who can be against us?
Right, if the Most High be for us, then who's going to be able to stop this work?
Right.
Who can come against us? Who can stop the little words of the Lord from being pushed out the four corners? Give me Acts 5:29. What spirit or entity or man is going to literally be able to stop judgment from coming forth? It's going to be able to stop World War III. Right, you got these different nations, they're trying to stop Iran from pressing the button.
Right.
Guess what? If the Lord put in his spirit to press the button, he's going to press the button. Because all this thing is really orchestrated by the Most High.
Right.
And that's how you know that this truth is never going to come to naught. But it's going to flourish and reign throughout all the earth. Finish on what you got.
That's it.
Look at verse
35.
Right?
Who shall separate us from the love of Christ?
Right?
Shall tribulation, or distress, or persecution, or famine, or nakedness, or peril, or sword? As it is written, for thy sake we are killed all the day long.
Right, so Paul was saying, and first of all, how do you deal with a man like that? How do you, if you're a so-called white man, a Chinese man, read that again from the top of 35. How do you come up against a man with this type of mentality? How do you tell a man that the spirit of Yahweh shot on him to stop prophesying, we're gonna kill you? Stop this work or A, B, and C gonna happen unto you. So just off that alone, if you have 144,000 men, right, 1/3 of the men of the nation of Israel with the same mentality, how are you going to be able to overthrow them? Read that again.
Romans 8:35.
Right.
No. Who shall separate us from the love of Christ?
What the Lord say?
Who shall separate us from the love of
Read
Christ?
that again.
Who shall separate us from the love of Christ?
Paul said, who shall separate us from the love of Christ? And that's a question that we all got to ask ourselves too. Right? You got to meditate and think, is this something that could come against you with the Lord? All right, and you, after you meditate, you go into it, you're going through the precepts, you cutting yourself, you self-examining it, you should come to find out that nothing should separate you from the love that you have with your King and your Creator. Right. You doing in that?
It reads,
right?
Shall tribulation or distress or persecution?
Right, shall persecution or distress, tribulation, can any of that stop you from serving the Lord? I mean, just look at our fathers. Look how much persecution, distress that Paul went through. In 2 Corinthians, the 11th chapter. Right. All the affliction that King David went through. When you read 1st and 2nd Samuel, when you read the Psalms and all the countless of prayers that David threw up. Guess what? None of these things was able to separate him from the Most High. Read about Elijah and the persecution that he went through. And how he had to hide in caves. Right, hide from these different wicked rulers and these things. Now he still served the Most High and caused fire down from heaven and still was zealous and on fire for the Most High. Read on.
It reads, or nakedness, or peril, or sword.
Right.
As it is written, for thy sake we are killed all the day long.
Like the Lord said, for our sake, we already killed all the day long. We already making our body a living sacrifice daily. We already stopped loving ourselves and gave our love to the Most High. You know what?
It reads, who also maketh intercession for us.
Right.
Who, we are accounted as sheep to the slaughter, for the slaughter.
Right.
Nay, in all these things, we are more than
He
conquerors.
said we are more than conquerors, and Paul said we're like sheep that's carried away to the slaughter. Whenever you have a sheep, you know, that's in the spirit of Passover is approaching or is here, right? We got that sheep and you ready to slay it. You know, that sheep already know in his mind that, you know, he finished. Same thing with us. We know that this society is going to kill us, that this society hates us, so we're already counted as sheep to the slaughter.
Right.
Right? The Lord said that we're sheep. You know, let's get Matthew chapter 5, verse, let's go 16. Right, I believe it's maybe 5 and 16. It's going to be wise and servant as long as it does. Let's get there. Let's read that.
Matthew 10 and 16.
Right.
Behold, I send you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves.
Right?
Be therefore wise as serpents and harmless as doves.
So the Lord said he already sent us as sheep in the midst of wolves. And Paul said that we're sheep already accounted for the slaughter. Meaning he already counted the cost of what this truth is really about. And again, how do you deal with a man whose mindset is that, you know, nothing is going to stop him? And people that have that mindset, they tend to excel in life. They tend to excel in those. Nothing's going to stop me from being this or being that. You got certain men that reach their goals when they in their so-called elderly age. They 50, 60 years old. You got Jake, certain brothers, they just start becoming so-called millionaires at 60 years old. I seen a video, his brother, he was in his late age, and he was giving out his pamphlets to these so-called celebrities. Guess what? His mindset is no matter how old he is, nothing is going to stop him. So nothing is going to stop that man from reaching his goal. How much more with the elect?
Right.
And with the kingdom of heaven. Nothing is going to stop them from loving their king, their creator, from serving the Most High. Bring up what you got.
Sister, you got 2 minutes for God?
Luke chapter 4, verse 28. Right. Let me get Luke 4:28.
It's the book of Sirach, chapter.
Let me get Luke 4:28 first.
It's the book of Baruch, chapter 4 and verse 28.
Bring it out.
Why was your mind to go astray from God?
Right?
So being returned, seek him 10 times
What
more.
the Lord say?
Seek him 10 times more.
Have fasting.
Seek him 10 times
Be
more.
weary.
Seek him 10 times more.
Read.
For he that hath brought these plagues upon you shall bring you everlasting joy again with your salvation.
But the Lord said the same way how we get plagues put upon us is the same way how he's going to give us joy and everlasting salvation if only we seek him 10 times more. Right? Go 10 times harder. Just like how you did in the world and Christmas, go 10 times harder for Passover and Pentecost and the Feast of Purim. The things that you did when you were straight away from the Most High, now coming back, excel 10 times more, man. Right, read this what you got. Sorry for the kid.
It's the book of Sirach, chapter 43, verse 30.
Right.
Yeah.
When you glorify Yahweh.
When you what?
When you glorify
Say
Yahweh.
that again.
When you glorify Yahweh.
Read.
Exalt him as much as he can.
Right.
For even yet will he far exceed.
Read on.
And when ye exalt him, put forth all your
What
strength.
the Lord say?
Put forth all your strength.
Have fast.
Put forth all your
Be
strength.
weary.
Put forth all your strength.
Read.
And be not weary.
Right.
For ye can never go far enough.
And no man can never go far enough when it comes to serving the Most High God, Yahweh. But Shema Mashiach, Wamalak, Hatazadak Yahushua.
Right.
And with that, Kwam Yashalom.
Kwam Yashalom.
Kwam Yashalom.
Kwam Yashalom.
Kwam Yashalom.
Shalom.